Okay, time for another JAT drive. Take a little drive with James Arnold Taylor, and we'll talk about things from my career, tell you some stories, and one that came up today, and that GameSpot tweeted out this thing about how annoying Tidus is because of his laugh. And, you know, I put other videos out about Final Fantasy and the beauty of the story and being involved with it, and how honored and humbled I was to be able to be the character of Tidus, or Tidus, however you say it. We said Tidus, so the game makers called him Tidus, so I call him Tidus. I've done all the ones about his name, the laugh, everything. But the laugh never seems to go away, and here it is 16 years later and people are still talking about it, which, let me be clear right from the beginning, I think that's great. Because I'm not offended by any of it. I mean, I tweeted some stuff out that I think some people can maybe take as though I'm being defensive about it or something. No, I want to give you the full story here, though, of how the laugh came about, what it was like in the studio, what direction I was given, how we came to that conclusion, all of that here on this. So if you're new to the channel, if you're watching this for the first time, hang out, watch the whole video, and listen to the story. Don't be one of those people that just jumps around, okay? Or go, oh, he's just driving, talking, I'm gonna pass by. Stick with me here. I'm gonna tell you the story of the Tidus Laugh, okay? So I think it's great, though, when people talk about it, bring it up and all that, because it's relevant still. 16 years later, the game is still relevant, and people are opinionated. They have opinions. Back when the game came out, people had opinions. Oh, he's so whiny. Oh, I hate that character. Or, oh, I love that character. I so relate to him. Either way, it's all, we all have our opinions and our rights to our opinions, and that's great. I don't like it when people are so negative, though, and do it to just try to hurt people's feelings. You know, as an actor, we're all ego and sensitive and wanting to please, and there's all those things that go into your head as an actor, and when you take on a role. And so when you take on a role of a character of a 17-year-old kid who's disillusioned with family and his father and doesn't know his father and such, which I personally went through as well and can relate to, he's not always going to be the tough, perfect superhero guy that listened to my story, that is this calm guy. He's going to be whiny. I'm so hungry, and oh, what are we doing here? And what, you know, that's real life, man. Sorry if you don't like Tidus whining. Guess what? You don't like real life, and I'm sure you do a lot of whining yourself, because that's what we all do. And I don't mean that as a negative towards anybody. I mean, it's real life. The writers of this game wrote this character to be as real as possible, and the other thing you got to take into consideration is this was a Japanese game, and a lot of things get lost in translation, a lot of things. And back 16 years ago, when this was the first Final Fantasy game to ever have voices in it, and the technology was still very new, and they were still trying to figure out how do we do both an English and a Japanese version of this game and make the lip flap work, meaning the mouth movements and such work still. Excuse me, a little froggy today. How do we make that all work? There's a lot to consider in that. So they did have a lot to consider, and the Japanese version was already done and was already a hit, and so in Japan, and then they bring it to America, and they have to then do all of the vocalizations and everything and change it over. And there was a ton of direction that was match what is here. And even still to this day, when I do a Final Fantasy X, or a Final Fantasy game, I should say, that Tidus is in from Final Fantasy X, obviously, it's still the same way. The technology has not changed all that much when you do a video game where you are redubbing it. Same with anime. You know, so many of you are fans of anime, and there's a reason anime has a style and a rhythm and a cadence to the acting, and that is generally comes from matching the lip flaps and the beats that were already done, and matching the acting style, very important, acting style of the Japanese, paying proper tribute to that and honor and respect to the writing and the story and all of that, because even though there is an American version of Final Fantasy, of all the games, these are Japanese stories, and these are told in a Japanese storytelling style, and you have to honor and respect that. So we change the dialogue to American, but we try to still honor the acting and the beats that were put in. Plus, we are also tied to a lot of the acting beats and the dialogue and the rhythms and the cadence of everything, the intonations that were already done to match what was animated. You have to. So it's not just like, Clone Wars or, Justice League or any other shows that we do or that I do where I go in, I get the script and I do it and then they animate afterwards. Remember, animation generally is done that way, whether it be a film or a game or anything. We voice it and then they animate to it. They might do some rough animations. It has changed a bit now with the way that video games are put together now and the technology and also CG shows and such. But it's still have the voice actors voice everything and then we will animate the final to what they did to capture the emotions, the rhythm, everything. That's not the case in anime. It's not the case in a game like Final Fantasy where everything was done to match what had already been done. So all that, a long way around to say, you have to do what has already been done. So when I went into the studio to do Final Fantasy X, which was a 3.5 month process, a daily process, it was there was, hours and hours and hours of dialogue put together to do this because it was such a big game. Obviously, those of you that have played it and know how long you can play this game, and the dialogue has to match and fit in and be a part of that. So we spent a lot of time there, and then there are cut scenes, movies. And the Laugh was one of those cut scenes. And we had been doing the characters, I want to say it was somewhere in the middle where we got to the Laugh in that scene. We did it pretty much in real time, or proper storyline in a linear fashion. We recorded the game in a linear way, meaning we started at the beginning and we ended at the end. So some of the movie scenes, though, kind of jump around and such. So by the time we had recorded the Laugh scene, I was already playing Tidus for several weeks, if not over a month, and into it, and kind of knew the rhythms of the character. And when they presented this scene, they showed me the movie. The movie was already cut, and they showed me the Japanese version. And I heard the Laugh there, and they said, so we want to try to reproduce that and make it the same way. I looked at them, okay. And, I got it because I watched it all in context. Again, you have to watch it in context. She's saying, try laughing, try smiling, try blowing off some steam, and then he's kind of a sarcastic, guy, and does this over-the-top laugh. And then, look at Waka, look at, other people have said, look at his reaction. Also, the other key thing here is listen at the end when I laugh normal. So if you wonder if I just don't know how to laugh or act laughing, watch the whole scene, and at the end you hear that I'm laughing like that, along with Hetty, who of course played Yuna, laughing. We didn't record together. Hetty recorded her lines separate, I recorded my lines separate. That's always how it's done in video games. So all the time I spent in the booth was just with me, the director Jack Fletcher, who is a great guy. Alex was one of the producers and translator between all of the Japanese crew that was there as well. And you have to remember as well that there was a lot of things we did that the Japanese crew didn't understand why we would ask to change that. So when they played me that, I said, well, do you want a regular version as well? Just like a normal laugh. They said, no, it's supposed to play this way. So I said, okay, I'll do it. And I cringed. I cringed all the way through it, kind of going, oh, I'm going to get some flack on this. Not knowing that here 16 years later, and I'm sure 10 years from now, when they celebrate the 26th anniversary of Final Fantasy X, I'll still be getting things from places like GameSpot making fun of the Tidus Laugh or calling him annoying. I don't think it's fair to the character to call him annoying because of one thing that is maybe 10, 15 seconds long after hours and hours of dialogue. This character that means a lot to a lot of people. It means a lot to me. I love the character of Tidus because I think that he's all of us. We are all that kind of whiny, dumb kid at times in our life that's looking for a way to be cool and looking for a way to do the right thing and to be the hero. And, you know, he comes a long way. And I don't think Tidus is whiny or dumb, but I'm saying that that's how he's looked at. But we're all looked at that way sometimes in our lives. When I was 17 years old, I did not have all the answers. I was obnoxious at times. I, you know, tried too hard. I had jokes that didn't go the way I wanted them to. And, you know, it's just one of those things that I think gets lost in translation, because you have to remember the Japanese version of it is the same laugh. They're both just basically a bad Gilbert Gottfried laugh, you know, and I'm sure you're all waiting for me to do the laugh now, but maybe I will, maybe I won't. I am going to do a video, I think, at some point where I redub the whole thing with a regular laugh, what it would have been if I just laughed regular. However, you got to remember, look at the animation. That's not what he's doing. He's doing the vocalization that comes out matches the animation. So I always find it fascinating that everybody kind of will pick on the actor, but nobody asks the writer of the story what they were going for, the director, the producers, all the people that put that into the game to begin with. Instead, it's just an easy one to kind of attack the actor and go, boy, hope he got jobs again after that. Or I read all the comments. I see them all. They don't bother me. I have pretty thick skin after 30 years plus doing this business. But, you know, come on, people. Really? Context. So there you go. The Tidus Laugh was supposed to be that way, as I've said numerous times. When I went into the studio to do it, I did it the way they asked, because they asked me to do it. I asked them if they wanted it another way. They said no. We did it a couple times. I think maybe only 2 times. And they went, yeah, that's it. Great. Because I was just copying back. They'd play me what he did, and then I would do that in my American Tidus version. And if you watch and compare the games, you'll see that that's the case for a lot of things in the game. You know, normally for me as a character, playing a young character, like, which I've played tons of characters like Tidus. Ratchet is not that different from Tidus. Leonardo the Ninja Turtle is not that different from Tidus. Certainly not vocally, certainly not age-wise or reactionary-wise or character-wise. They're the same characters, but if you watch or listen to my performances as those characters, you'll find a lot of differences in the way I perform it, because I'm not trying to match lip flap, timing, and somebody else's acting and redubbing it. It's a very different process. If you watch, you know, Ratchet do something, he's oh, that's great, Clank. That's how he's gonna laugh. He's not gonna go ha 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 ha. Oh, that's great, Clank. You know, Leonardo isn't gonna go ha ha ha. I love being a turtle. He's gonna go ha, I love being a turtle. That's it. But if they're all basically that same character, played within that same age range and such. So keep the context in mind, folks, and remember, it's homage to the original, the Japanese, and, you know, appreciate those stories. Again, fans of anime like myself, it's a whole art form. It's an art form, and it's not the easiest thing in the world to do. So I hope that clears up some of it for all of you. I hope you subscribe to the channel, and I thank you for taking the time to watch the video. A lot more videos. Take drives with me here where I explain stuff. There's Clone Wars Conversations, the JAT Show, got the Moment with the Master, Tell Tidus a Tale is coming up. That's one where you can tell me a joke, well, tell Tidus a joke. So if you have a video of you just on your iPhone or your smartphone or something, shoot a quick video, make it a clean joke, send me a clean, not a dirty joke. Send me one either through Twitter or Instagram. You can send me a link through my email to a video that you post of you telling me a joke on YouTube. You can make it a private link, and then I can extract that video and put it in for this new feature called Tell Tidus a Tale. I need all of you that have funny, clean jokes to send videos to me. And there you go. Send it to JAT Actor Instagram, hashtag tell Tidus a tale, or at JAT Actor Twitter, hashtag tell Tidus a tale, or email me at the JAT Show link on my website, jamesarnoldtaylor.com. Go to the JAT Show, choose a topic, and it's tell JAT a joke. And you can then send a link to a YouTube video of you telling me a joke, and it'll all go in and be a part of a new feature coming up on the JAT channel called Tell Tidus a Tale. That wraps up this tale of Tidus. Thanks so much for taking the time. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you like it. Hope you share it. Hope you subscribe. See ya.